What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Z Sports and Entertainment. I am Z. We're gonna get caught up with the MLB. You know, we went through All-Star, did the All-Star videos, did the home run derby videos. You know, the NL was able to pull out the All-Star victory. You know, catcher from the Rockies was able to win MVP. Now we on to the second half of the season, and before we get too deep into the second half, we just gonna get caught up real quick, standings, rankings, things of that nature. So, without taking up too much of everybody's time, let's get it going. We're gonna start with the American League. American League, we're gonna start with the AL East, and all 5 teams are above 500. Outside of the division leading Baltimore or the O's, like everybody's in competition. Like everybody's in contention for the division. Everybody's in contention for the wild card. This division is I'm not gonna say it's wide open, but like right now the Yankees are in last place. They're 8 games out of first. Still a lot of baseball left. Like, this division is ultra competitive. I remember Tampa Bay started the season off like 13-0. Now, Baltimore has come back, and Baltimore is dealing. Pitching at the plate. Baltimore is looking like they're going to be scary for a very long time. I can't even sit here and give like a adequate whatever. I mean, Mountcastle and Adley Rutschman and Bautista out of the pen. I mean, that team is here. They're here to stay, and they only gonna get better because they still got a lot of young players down in the minors. Baltimore's looking like the fucking Braves, dog. They looking like the Braves, and it's crazy. They're so good. Boston just got out of an intense series with Atlanta. They're looking good. Toronto's doing what Toronto's been doing all season. The Yankees are about to get Aaron Judge back. I don't know. The East is tough. It is very tough. If I had to make a prediction like right now, just right now at this moment in time, I would honestly go with Tampa Bay. Just from a consistency, experience, somewhat been there before, I would probably go with Tampa Bay. But anybody in this division can do whatever they want at any point in time. Seriously. American League Central. This one's a little more wide open. You got the Twins on top at 54-50. Then you got the Cleveland Guardians right there behind them, 2 games behind. As far as the Tigers, White Sox, and Royals, they're for the most part out of it. Pretty surprised at the Tigers, even though they're 10 games under 500, but Tigers have been pretty fucking good this year. I mean, not great, not even decent to average, but Tigers have been pretty good. They've been a pretty good baseball team. They haven't been an easy series or easy sweep at all. White Sox, I'm disappointed in the White Sox. Just traded Lucas Giolito to the Angels, so who knows? I could see them blowing a lot of things up. I could see them, getting rid of Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada. I could see them getting rid of some guys. There ain't really too much to report on the Central. I mean, it's looking like a 2-man race between the Twins and the Guardians. If I had to make a pick right now, I would say Guardians. I would want to say the Twins because my love for Carlos Carrera, but I just think the Guardians are the better team. I know Shane Bieber's on the trade block, They just made a trade with, I think, the Dodgers. Something as far as Noah Syndergaard and Rosario. But I would still say the Guardians. I know the Twins got Sonny Gray and Lopez, but I just feel like Jose Ramirez and the Guardians aren't going to go out without a fight, man. That just is what it is. Let's move on to the American League West. We got The Rangers have been pretty consistent all year. Seriously, the Rangers have been in first place for a long period of time. Astros right behind them, 2 games back. Angels actually aren't playing bad baseball. They're 53-49. They're 6.5 out of the division lead. We'll get to the wild card, but AL is tight. Like, just looking at the divisions and looking at all the teams and records and things of that nature. I haven't looked at the wild card yet, but it's tight. I mean, like, when you got teams like the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, the Astros, the Angels, I mean, these guys are like all right there together. It's tough. It is tough. And the Rangers are balling. They're not letting up. Like, they're not letting up at all. And then you still got teams like Seattle who are down here who could get high at any point in time. If I had to make a decision right now, I'm going with old reliable. I'm going with Houston. So that would put my division winners at Tampa Bay, Cleveland, and Houston. But who knows? In the East, it could go any way. Central, the Twins could easily pull it out. And in the West, if the Rangers could just keep it going, or the Angels could get hot. I mean, it just is what it is at this point. Let's go over to let's talk about this wild card. Let's talk about the wild card for a moment. Right now, with the way things stand, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Houston Astros, and the Toronto Blue Jays would be your 3 wild card teams. So, pretty much all that means is this. I don't know. That's tough. It's tough because you have... So the Toronto Blue Jays are the 3rd wild card team. You got Boston, who's a game and a half behind. Yankees, 2.5 games behind. Angels, 3.5 games behind. Mariners, 4.5 games behind. Guardians, 5.5 games behind. Then you jump down to the Tigers, who are 10.5 games behind. So you got Toronto, Boston, New York, LA, Seattle, and Cleveland all fighting for one spot. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Who do I say are going to get the wild card spots? I have Tampa Bay winning the division, so I'm going to give one of them to Baltimore. I have Houston winning the division. I don't think Texas will fall off that much, but I do think they'll be the 2nd wild card team. And then my 3rd wild card team, my 3rd and final wild card team, I'm going to go with the Yankees. I think the Yankees will be able to pull it out. I know it's been... But, yeah, like I was saying, man, my wild card teams are going to be Baltimore, Texas, and the New York Yankees. Can't really give an order. And something else you got to take into account. Trade deadline. We don't know where players are going to end up. We don't know who is going to do what. We just don't know. Like, now that I'm like really looking at the standings and like seeing how close things are, this could go a lot of different ways. Seriously, it could go a lot of different ways, man. Because even with the Angels, if the Angels have already said they're not going to trade Ohtani, so if they don't trade Ohtani, and he continues to have a Aaron Judge 2022 plus what he can do on the man, it's just a lot of different ways this could go. It's a lot of different ways this could go. Cleveland never gives up. Seattle, they gonna fight you to the end. Boston, New York, they got the tradition. Toronto, they just got a good-ass team. And Baltimore, they're the young kids that don't even realize what they're doing. So it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's extremely tough. And I'm excited for this down the stretch. Let's move over to the National League. So for those of you who did not pretty much get what I was getting out of the AL, I got Tampa Bay winning the East, I got Cleveland winning the Central. I got the Astros winning the West. My 3 wild card teams are Baltimore, New York Yankees, and the Texas Rangers. Those are my 7 playoff teams. All right. I really feel like I'm doing something wrong. But, no, I'm good. Okay, so let's go to the NL. Let's start with the NL East, and that's just as simple as it's going to get. Go Braves. We got a 10-game lead on the Phillies. Got the best record in baseball. A plus 140 run differential. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. Like, and the thing about us is that we're 38-24 against teams above 500. We're dangerous. Mets flop. Mets are down there with the Nationals. Phillies and Marlins are in the wild card conversation, but NL East is pretty simple. It's just Braves. I'm looking at the Mets and I'm looking at the Nationals, and I'm looking for trade pieces. Simple. Hopefully the Braves can do. I saw a report that Adam Duvall might be on the Braves' radar. I hope so. Adam Duvall seems like he was meant to be in the Braves uniform, so bring him on back, man. Let's move down to the Central. The Milwaukee Brewers have a 1.5 game lead on the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds are starting to cool off since the Ellie De La Cruz call-up, and words can't explain how tremendous of a player this young man is. I mean, seriously, he has come in and literally stole the show and done everything you could possibly do as a baseball player. It's literally ridiculous what he has done for that team, that clubhouse, that organization, that city. He has given life to Cincinnati from a baseball perspective. It's amazing. I'm disappointed personally in the Cubs and the Cardinals. I really thought both of them would have better seasons than they're having. I think the Cubs should. It ain't no should. The Cubs are going to look to trade Cody Bellinger here soon, and we'll see what the Cardinals do. But I saw something with the Cardinals that's making me question their management. Adolis Garcia and Randy Arozarena was in their farm system. I love, Carlson, and I love Jordan Walker, and I love all those guys, but like Randy Arozarena and Adolis Garcia. How do you let that? You had Albert Pujols. You know what I'm saying? You had Yadier Molina. How do you let those Latin American? I don't understand that. I just don't get it. But anyway, who do I think is gonna come out on top? I'm gonna go with the Brewers just because it's the Reds are young. They're a little dumb, so they might do some things here and there that's gonna make you question some stuff. I'm going to just go with the Brewers. The Brewers are solid, and it just seems like the right answer. Corbin Burns, and they got the pitchers. Devin Williams is pitching amazing out of the bullpen. Christian Yelich just started to get back on. Freddie Peralta's doing his thing. I mean, Brewers are looking like the team to beat in the Central. Let's move down to the West. And as much as I hate to just be like this, the Dodgers. I mean, Diamondbacks had a hell of a season. San Francisco have had a pretty good season as well. But the Dodgers are the Dodgers. I mean, they got the payroll, they got the players, they got the management, they got the stadium, the tradition. Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts are playing amazing baseball. Clayton Kershaw is in the Cy Young conversation. I mean, what can I say? I mean, Dodgers. It's just Dodgers. Highly disappointed in the San Diego Padres. Really thought they was going to put it all together and make it work. I truly believe they should blow it up after this year. Get rid of Juan Soto. It's so hard because you pay Manny. You pretty much pay everybody, but you even pay Fernando Tatis. Good Lord. I don't know what you're doing in San Diego because you got a lot of players that could get you a lot of prospects. And, I mean, seriously, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove. I mean, they got guys that you can get rid of and get a lot in return. So San Diego has options. They genuinely have options. It's not a talent problem. It has to be something wrong with the clubhouse. I don't know what it is, but on paper, it can't get no better than that. I mean, it just can't. This is highly disappointing. So from a division standpoint, I kind of got it the way it is. Braves, Brewers, and Dodgers. Those are my division winners, and it's kind of just that simple. We're going to move over to the wild card. And this wild card race is even closer than the AL wild card race. So right now we got the San Francisco Giants. They got a half-game lead over the Phillies. And the Phillies and Reds are tied for second. So you got San Francisco, Philly, and Cincinnati. All three of them are within a half a game of winning each other. Then you got, on the outside looking in, you got Arizona and Miami, who are 4 and 5. They're half game behind. You got 5 teams. Yeah, 1, 2, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Arizona, and Miami, all within 1 game of each other. 5 teams competing for 3 spots, and they're all 1 game within each other. But then outside of those 5 teams, you got the Cubs, 4.5. You got the Padres, 6.5. Mets, 7.5. Even the Mets at 7.5 games back, I still don't think that's too far of a reach, for them to possibly make that third and final wild card spot. I don't. It's a lot of baseball left. It's over 50 games, 60 games left. So personally, who my 3 wild card teams are, Lord have mercy, y'all gonna get me in here lying. Take all bias out and just, who do you think? If I'm being honestly, the way the NL is right now, that's exactly how I got it. No particular order, none of that, but just like my wild card teams in the National League are the San Francisco Giants, Philadelphia Phillies, and Cincinnati Reds. I would love to see that young, crazy, dynamic Cincinnati team in the playoffs. Phillies, they got some work to do. They've had a very injury-rid season. Trey Turner in the first year of that ridiculous contract hasn't really lived up to the hype, but I think they can. I hope they don't do what they did last year, but I think the Phillies could possibly make a run. I do. Bryce Harper's back playing first base. And with the Giants are just solid. Watching them is annoying because they don't hit a lot of home runs. They don't have an extremely low ERA. Watching them is so annoying because they just do everything right. Like, fuck up here and there, bro. Like, it's just annoying. But that's what I got for you guys. The graphics will be on the screen. Didn't really get too much into players. I ain't gonna talk about stuff like, Ronald Acuna being MVP, Corbin Carroll being National League Rookie of the Year, like Ohtani being American League MVP. Like, a lot of stuff is already determined. But we're gonna get into it. We gonna have an awards, conversation here. We gonna get it going. But right now it's just hard to say. Braves are the best team in baseball. Go Braves. We going for 2 out of 3 World Series, 8 All-Stars. I can talk about the Braves all day, man, but I'm still hoping we add something. I'm hoping we can get like a Shane Bieber. I was kind of hoping we could get like a Giolito from the White Sox, but hopefully we can do something. Not a crazy move, but something. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. I hope this was an informative video. If you are a fan of a team that I didn't talk about, 9 times out of 10 is because they aren't very good. But baseball is very traditional. So like when you have teams like Baltimore and Texas and the Marlins and the Reds and the Diamondbacks, when you have teams who aren't necessarily winners when it comes to baseball, and when you see them up high in the division standings or in the wild card standing, it makes you like, wow, Like baseball could possibly be turning a new leaf. Kind of how it was when the Royals went on their World Series run, or when the Cubs went on their World Series run. I mean, things change, and teams aren't, with today's society and today's market and salary caps and things of that nature. Teams aren't gonna allow teams to be too good for too long. That's just the way it is now. I mean, teams like Baltimore, they're not just going to sit back and allow themselves to be at the bottom of the East every year. Drafting Adley Rutschman was the first move to changing that. And it's hard to say that it's not paying off. Extremely beneficial. Extremely beneficial. So, go Braves. We're going to talk about more baseball here soon. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and share. I am Z. Z out.